Hello, my name is James Westrick, and I am doing my video presentation for my Capstone project through Herzing University to complete my uh, bachelor's degree of science in legal studies. The reason I'm doing this video is essentially because through my own personal experiences and talking to different people, I heard a lot of people saying that it wasn't a good time to go into a legal career field because the field is shrinking due to advances in technology that streamline different processes in document creation and stuff like that. And so I just wanted to take and kind of do my own research and figure out what's going on, um, see what my job opportunities may look like, and then present that for other people that may be looking to go into the legal career field, as well as kind of get some education on like the different the roles that people might run into. Um, the first role that I kind of want to go over is the role of an arbitrator or a mediator. Essentially, they settle disputes between people. A mediator is a mutual agreement after the mediation is done. Essentially, two sides come together. They work with a mediator to figure out what they want to do, and then at the end, they agree to do that contractually. So the mediator just comes up with a compromise. An arbitrator is a little bit different. They're more like a judge. Essentially, both sides agree to abide by the arbitrator's judgment. There's good job growth in this, and the median pay is about $60,000 a year. There's office administrators. They're about $45,000 a year. Their job outlook was average, about 7% growth. Um, uh, and essentially they kind of just administrate legal offices, do budget oversight and stuff like that. Certified financial planners, that's a really good one. Fast job growth, around like 20%. The median pay is about $90,000 a year, and essentially they provide financial advice. Um, Actually found one essentially you're a real estate agent. It's pretty straightforward. Most people know what they do. It would require a little extra certification, but other than that, it doesn't require an educational background at all. And you just help buy and sell houses. Basically, anyone can do this job. It might just behoove you to have a background in legal studies because you know more about real estate law. Corporate trainers, that's another big one. Essentially, you go through and you do trainings for companies at different locations. Maybe something like training people on like sexual harassment laws, things of that nature. Um, just improving corporate knowledge. Um, Another position that I had was a deposition videographer. The median pay is about 60,000 a year. And essentially you just take and record people giving depositions. It's a nice little like hybrid between a videographer and working in the legal field. After that, you have an investment banker. This would be good because you should have a pretty good understanding of the law around investment banking, working in legal studies. Median pays about $70,000 a year. Job outlook's good. Requires a bachelor's degree in order to get this position. You just advise companies and individuals on how to invest their money. Journalists is another career path that I found. This one doesn't have awesome job growth. It's actually almost stagnant at a little less than 1%. Median pay is only about $40,000 a year, but if you like researching current events in the legal field, you might start a legal column or blog or something like that and write about that, and you can make some money doing that. Another position is that of a jury consultant. You make about $45,000 a year. Job outlook is average, just about like 6 to 7% growth. It does require a bachelor's degree, and essentially you just help lawyers or legal departments um, by putting together information on potential jurors in order to put together a jury that is going to help you get the outcome you're looking for in your, you know, uh, legal case. Another position is that of a law librarian, really cool one. You just help people take and do legal research, point them in the direction of legal resources, legal forms, different stuff like that. Job outlook is pretty good. It's average again, 67%. Um, and the median income is about $60,000 a year. Um, law professor is another interesting one. Um, it's $135,000 a year is the median salary. Job outlook is average. So again, in that 6 to 7% range. Does require Juris Doctorate and state licensing to get most legal professor positions. But you're going to be educating students and doing academic research, publishing academic papers, stuff of that nature. The next career I looked at was that of a legislative analyst. This had pretty stagnant growth. I believe it was below 1% as well. You make about $50,000 a year. Requires a bachelor's degree, and essentially you look at new and upcoming legislation to see how it's going to affect a company or how it's going to impact governmental function. Um, so another cool one here is legal software developers. Average income is about $100,000 a year. Job growth is huge. I think this was the largest one that I found at 26%. Essentially, what you're doing is helping a software team develop different legal aspects of their software. So this might be informing them on how cases should be managed and stuff like that for creating case management software. Or you may be working for like a legal research developer like Westlaw or LexisNexis, putting together legal research databases. Legal consultants, a pretty common one. Median pay is pretty high at $115,000 a year. Job outlook is average. It does require a Juris Doctorate and quite a bit of experience. But essentially, you're giving legal advice in whatever legal field that you've gone into. A lot of them also want you to have passed the state bar exam. That way you're up to date on any state laws that might impact them as well, and you're just giving businesses legal counsel. Another position here is that of a lobbyist. The median pays about $50,000 a year. The job growth is average, which is, again, 67%. It does require a bachelor's degree, and essentially you just act as a supporter to push legislative agenda for a business. One common one for a lot of people in the legal career is that of a politician. So again, kind of goes right beside being a lobbyist there. You're going to be looking at creating laws and regulations at different levels of government. Job growth on this was pretty low. But if you keep in mind that a lot of them are elected positions where people rotate in and out over a period of time, it makes sense. The median pay is only about $45,000 a year, but again, when you're talking about state and local governments, they don't get paid a whole lot. But when you start playing at the federal level or some of the bigger positions, you're talking about higher salaries. It's just across 50 different states. Like, some of them have 100 some congressmen making $40,000 a year or less. It's going to drag that median down. The next role I looked at is that of a title examiner. It's kind of in that same real estate vein. The job outlook is average. What you're doing is you're going through different like legal documents and stuff like that, researching a title in order to make sure that the purchaser of a home or renter or something, or of a commercial space, doesn't have any liens on it, or at least they're informed if it has. any liens on it or easements on the land or anything like that. Um, Generally, you're going to be working for some sort of real estate company as a title examiner. Um, Another one that is pretty cool is that of a trust officer, also known as an estate administrator. Essentially, you just manage people's estates, which could also include, like when they pass away, like making sure their estate gets distributed as they left in their wills and stuff like that. Um, the job outlook for this was actually pretty high. Um, because as our population grows, more people are passing away, and estate administrators are going to be more in demand as that population increases. Um, Another pretty common role in the legal field is that of a judge. Median salary is pretty high at $110,000 a year. Job outlook is average. Um, does require a Juris Doctorate and 5 years of experience in a lot of cases. A lot of states also require that you pass their state bar exam before you can be a judge in that state. And essentially, you're just going to be presiding over cases, writing case reviews. You might be, working on the side, publishing academic papers or writing law reviews, things of that nature. Another more common role here that I have is law enforcement. It's pretty flexible, overarching title for it, because law enforcement could be a local police officer, sheriff, state trooper, and then you have kind of the bigger guys like you have ICE is really active right now. You have intelligence agencies like the CIA and the NSA. You also have the FBI, and you could be working on a large number of different things, whether that's working on deportation, working on protecting state secrets, finding state secrets. The FBI looks at a whole bunch of different types of like fraud, terrorist cases, a large number of things. So it's pretty flexible. And you can do it with a lot of different degrees. They generally go after people in the legal field because you have an understanding of the law. Another common degree for this one is a criminal justice degree. But from what I can find, if you have a legal studies degree, you're just as capable in that legal informational background. The final position that I wanted to go over was that of a court clerk. The median pays about $60,000 a year. Job outlook was pretty low. Again, like that's probably due to the fact that the number of courthouses isn't really growing a whole lot. So you probably won't see too much fluctuation just because people cycle in and out of those positions. There's not a ton of there's like no experience required. You can actually get into some of the smaller courthouses with just a high school diploma. Some of the larger courthouses they'll probably want you to have a bachelor's degree, but you're just going to be performing routine functions like maintaining records, collecting information and documents and filing them, giving out information that's going to be pretty common for like court proceedings or information or stuff like that. So it's pretty straightforward. So these are just all the different jobs that I listed here. There's a whole bunch more that I found. I just can't fit all that into a 15-minute presentation. A couple of them had like low to average job growth. And then there's a couple in there that had really explosive job growth, but all these are available. And it's pretty awesome. All my stuff was pulled from the Bureau of Labor Statistics from the U.S. Department of Labor. They have all the information on there for these different positions and their job growth and kind of what the roles are. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, and I'll try to answer them. Thank you. Bye.